Something that often happens in the workplace is an injury to your rotator cuff. Now, what is a rotator cuff? So it's not just one thing. It's a whole complex of muscles surrounding the shoulder. Basically, it allows the shoulder to function, and it keeps the humerus, or this arm, or this bone, the bone from the elbow to the shoulder, keeps it in place. So sometimes, over time, a lot of people develop soreness or degeneration of that joint and of these muscles just due to daily living. But more often than not, an injury to your rotator cuff, particularly a tear, is caused by lifting. And often that lifting is overhead. And a lot of people have jobs where they have to lift overhead on a regular basis. So if you feel like you've suffered an injury, you'll go to the doctor, who will invariably do an exam, some x-rays and an MRI, and determine what type of injury you have, what part of the muscle is affected or torn, and what should be done. In addition to the rotator cuff, we also find that the biceps tendon is often torn too. So there is a tendon that links your biceps muscle up to the shoulder. And if that comes off, your arm is just not useful anymore. So often this surgery involves repairing any tear of the rotator cuff and reattaching your biceps tendon. It's a very common work injury. And many people who get this find that after they have the surgery and after they've had these torn muscles, they can't work the way they used to. They can't lift overhead anymore. They can't lift heavy weights. So often, if it's a work injury, we find that after you have the surgery, you get as good as you're going to get. You're not going to get any better. The case will settle, and you'll move on to something more sedentary. So if you find yourself in that position, call me.